West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes. Welcome back. I say welcome back. It's been a minute. The call-in show, it's been a minute. My blood pressure. Of all the things that I cancelled after I found out that my blood pressure needed to be controlled, it was the live call-in show. I decided that was the element of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast that was affecting my blood pressure the most. People making me stay up till midnight to just talk on West Indies cricket. Let me tell you something right now. This show, I'm locking it off in 45 minutes. Not even waiting for 150 people or more to come into the live. I'm just going to lock it off. As soon as I see 45 minutes come up, see when it reaches. Remember, the test match starts. The test match starts 5 a.m. UK time. So what are we saying here? What's that now? So I need at least 6 hours sleep before I get out of my bed to start watching these men tomorrow. So we ain't going anything longer than 45 minutes because people have to get ready for the test match. We got to get ready to rally, and we can't rally on no sleep. We have to be fully prepped for the rallying. You can't just watch licks on no sleep. That's not how it works. So, who's in the live? Let's see. Josh Burgess says live on direct. I'm sure he meant to say and direct. Randy says, yeah, I thought this was America. Make sure you share this in your WhatsApps, in your Snapchats, in your TikToks, in your Facebooks. Share the link. Share the link, people. LB16 says, innings defeat or 300s run. Wait, is he Indian? Innings defeat. Or are you saying that's what's going to happen to us? We're definitely losing, that's for sure. Marlon says, come to Miami and take a wine. Wait a minute. Take a wine? Why for that? Take a wine on... Wait, on who? Allow me, Marlon. Allow me. It's too late for that. How raunchy. Right, okay. Rising Bowler says, big up Rising Bowler every time. Critical part of the Caribbean Cricket Network, people. By the way, we've just dropped the episode 4 of Caught Behind the Mic with Yannick Leonard. We had Jamal Hamilton on that. So if you haven't watched that episode, go watch that. Santelk and I dropped earlier on the CCP preview show. So go and watch that. Shastri's in the house. Big up Shastri. Shastri's just dropped an article. Well, I say he's just dropped an article. If you're subscribed to Caribbean Cricket News, Shastri's just written an article on that. I've been editing that tonight. So that's going to drop probably tomorrow morning, actually. When I wake up to watch the test match, I'll probably drop that around 5-6 o'clock UK time. So if you're up around midnight, 11 o'clock, whatever it is, Eastern Caribbean time, whatever, expect to see that drop as well. So big up Shastri, the first none article from me on Caribbean Cricket News. The link in that is in the descriptor below. Go and subscribe, people. Quality articles on West Indies cricket. So Shastri's got something that he's about to drop. Big up to him. Christian Poon says, like the stream. Yeah, like it, people. Like, share, subscribe. Who else is in the live? Belly says, staying up to watch West Indies concede 700 runs. Allow me. If India bat first, it could be long still. I can't lie. Randy says we need better players. Boy. Where are they, though? Where are they? Charlie X says Minnesota posse in the house. Yeah, big up my Minnesotan crew. Loads of time for the Twin Cities. Big them up. Who else is? Dwight Henry says, any changes in the batting lineup? No. Why would you? So let's just go through the batting lineup from the last test. Tage isn't getting dropped. I know he only got duck and 8 or something, but why would you drop him? You only just brought him back. Is there any other opener in the squad anyway? So Tage isn't getting dropped. What's his name? John Campbell ain't getting dropped. Brandon King ain't getting dropped. Ruston Chase is a captain. He ain't getting dropped. Alec Athanase isn't getting dropped. Justin Grays isn't getting dropped, and Shea Hope is. There's no changes to the batting lineup. The only way you would change anything to do with the batting is if you drop one of the quicks for an extra batter, but I don't see that happening. Michael Arthur says, I saw the interview with Pollard. It was excellent. What interview? What, the one that we did from a few years back? Is that what you mean? Yeah, that was a top. If you mean that, that was one of our best episodes, actually. If you've never watched our interview with Kyron Pollard, people, go in the archives. Some of our archives episodes that we've done on CCP are timeless. The ones with Michael Atherton, Fazier's been on 3 times, Pollard's come on the show. We've had bare people on the show, you know. Anyway, CCP, we're trendsetters out here. We've done some real bad boy shows. The shows with Venetia, where we looked at the life and times of Frank Worrell. Hey, we've done the Walter Rodney history episode. No one can't beat CCP when it comes to content, you know. Real eclectic vibe on CCP. Travis Pessoa says, why didn't Anderson Phillip play the first test? He had more experience than Lane or Blades. Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting for... Thing is, because I didn't go to any press conference and because there's been no link for Caribbean journalists to ask any questions to Sammy or anyone, no one's been able to just find out. I don't think a clear explanation has come out of the camp to say why Phillip wasn't there. Somebody said to me it was something about they thought Johan Lane would extract more bounce out of the pitcher at Medabad, but Phillip is better than him, so I don't know, man. Adarsh Singh says Chinese Communist Party equals CCP. That's none of my business. Audio Visual says, question for you, sir. You said one hope is for at least one player to make 50 runs. These players play ODIs and make hundreds and 50s in ODIs. Why can't we do the same in tests? It's the same players we're playing. Because in test cricket, your technique is tested. Your patience is tested. The white ball stops moving after however many overs in ODI cricket. The red ball, you actually have to have. Do you know, I wouldn't even just focus on technique. Test cricket is a test. It's just as much about your patience as well as your technical ability. We don't have 5 good test batters in the whole region. I don't even know why I said 5, because some people would say we don't have 3 or 2. So it does, you know, like when people say stuff like, "Oh, Shafee Rutherford should be in the test team." On what basis, though? On what basis? Like, it's long for us out here. Kira Grant says, drop Warwican. Play our 3 quicks, Jaden, Jadea, and Anson Phillip. If an extra spin option is needed, Alec can bowl. Drop Pierre if you're going to do that, I would assume. Warwican's the vice captain, so if you're going to drop anyone, you're going to drop Pierre. Adar Singh says, bring on Santoki. Santoki's gone to his bed, yeah. Much less he's looking after his youth. So Santoki ain't coming on tonight. Who would you consider the 5 good batters in the region? Genuinely curious, right? 5 good. We haven't got. No, sorry. Not when I say. Hold on. Let me reframe my parameters. Should I reframe my parameters and just say, have we got 5 good batters in the region? Full stop. Thing is, you lot know my views on this already. I don't think we've got 11 good players in the whole Caribbean. Like, forget formats. I don't think we've got 11 good players in the whole Caribbean. And when I say good, I mean like world class. We don't have 11 across the whole Caribbean. What's the population of the whole Caribbean, people? Does anyone know? Jamaica's got about 3 million. Trinidad must have like 1.5. So that's 4.5 million. Then add in all the smaller. Barbados has about 800,000. So that's what, 5.3 million. Let's round it up to 5.5. Then add in everybody else. What's the population of the whole Caribbean, people? About 10 million? We don't have 11 good players. We got 10 million. Let's say 50% are women, for argument's sake, right? Women and girls, whatever. So that cut that to 5 million. And then let's say that a third are old people. Let's just say that. So out of the 2 million available men in the Caribbean, I don't think we've got 11 good players. Forget format. I don't think we've got 11 good players out of 2 million. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. We got 2 million men to pick from, and I couldn't give you 11 good players. And if you force me to pick 11, Haley's one of them. How about that? So if I had to pick a team of 11, Haley Matthews is getting in it. So that tells you everything for me. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water to bring down my blood pressure. Are you putting Craig in the top 5 batters? Of course. Of course. You lot, thing is, what you lot are seeing, there's enough of you who are in this chat right now who begged for Craig Brathwaite to get dropped. And you may remember that I was always backing Craig. I was getting loads of people cuss me, going, Mash, he's got to be dropped. He's got to be dropped. And the reason why I kept the reason why I kept backing Craig is because my argument was always there's no one better in the region. And I had all these uncles going, you don't know what you're talking about. Stink London, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. And I kept trying to warn you lot. You can drop Craig if you want. I'd rather watch Craig fail over and over and over again, knowing that he at least knows how to construct an innings and the form must come back at some point, than turn to anybody else in the region who I know 100% cannot do well. And yet still people going, no, you got to drop Craig. He's no good. He's no good. Well, we dropped Craig. Now what? Now what? So we got what we deserved. We ran the man out the team. Bearman tried to make, we put Craig on the ducking stool and tried to make it out like it's all his problem. So Craig's sitting in Barbados now, and look here now, we ain't got no one to replace Craig. But this is why I'm sick and tired. Like, do you know what we're really good at in cricket in the region? We're good at lying to ourselves. We're really good at lying to ourselves. We're really good at blaming the wrong things and the wrong people. It's like it's a vicious circle. Blame that person, lying to ourselves. Now let's blame that person, lie to ourselves. Oh, let's focus on that person, lying to ourselves. Like pure lies is all we do in the Caribbean when it comes to cricket. Craig's going to walk back in. If as all the while Craig still wants to play cricket, he will walk back into this West Indies side because there will not be 2 openers that can keep him out. So if I'm Craig, if Craig's watching this or if this gets to Craig, it's really simple how Craig gets back into the side. When the 4-day season happens, he just has to be Craig Brathwaite. And him just being Craig Brathwaite will mean he will outscore everybody else. And that means he just comes back into the side. Simple. Benton Lawson says, I need to see the evidence that it was uncles calling for Craig's drop-in. I think the youngsters called for it. What youngsters? There's only about 7 youngsters in the whole Caribbean that still watch West Indies. So what youngsters are you talking about? The uncles have to take all the blame for what's happened in West Indies cricket. All the uncles. You're to blame. The uncles have failed in transmitting to the younger generation the importance of West Indies cricket. Every single uncle in the Caribbean is to blame. Every single one. John P. Nichols says, Mash, aren't you an assistant school principal? Which Barbados are you talking about with 800,000 people? The population of Barbados is under 300,000. Maybe I was talking about Guyana. I don't know. Someone's got a population of 800,000. Is it Guyana? I don't know. Even if Barbados' population is 300,000, they're so bossy, it might as well be 800,000. I think Barbados is the most bossy island in the Caribbean when it comes to cricket, certainly. So Barbados has the bossiness of 800,000, even if it's a 300,000 population. Tell me when I'm telling lies. William says he resents that comment. Are you Bayesian? The Bayesians are bossy though. It's true though, isn't it? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Listen, anyone can get it tonight. Anyone can get it. Jamaicans obviously are the most bossy. Like, as a Jamaican, we are the most bossy in the region, but we're bossy about anything but cricket. The Bayesians are the most bossy when it comes to cricket. I don't even see how that's a controversial statement. It's just true. You speak to a Bayesian about cricket and they'll quick to tell you about how Kensington Oval is the mecca of the region and how they've produced so many cricketers per square mile. They can, and I'm not criticizing it. They probably have reason to be bossy, but they're the most bossy about cricket in the region. And then second is probably the Guyanese. Tell me when I'm telling lies. This is why people don't like me and my stink London mouth. Right. Let's get the live going because I want to get out of here. Where is it? Where is this link for this live? Here it is. Right. Sorry, people. I was just trying to find this link. The thing is, when I put this link in the live, people, I beg you just get to the point quickly. Because you lot are trying to raise my blood pressure. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? My water's already gone. I got to drink water when I'm doing these shows because I think these shows stress me out. I blame TC. So I'm just going to play this ad. Say it's an ad. It's not an ad. I'm going to just remind people that we got some merch for sale. Actually, let me get some. I'm going to play the merch video in a minute, but let me just show you that as an example. So we got the merch. We got the CCP merch. Still got the baby boy, baby girl pink. What size is this one? Size. This is the small. Wait, what? Oh yeah, no. I've sold this one, but I haven't given it to the person yet because I'm giving it to them hand. So this is the baby boy, baby blue pink, in small. We got the merch out here, you know. So anyways, I'm going to play this video. I'm going to get some more water, and then we're going to go straight into the live segment of the show. Podcast merch has arrived. And I'm rocking right now the classic West Indies maroon in the CCP logo. It's looking nice. It's looking fresh. It's looking like you need to go cop one. Not just the maroon. You can also get the Look at this, people. Remember in the 1970s when the West Indies used to rock that salmon? Well, check this out. We got the baby boy, baby girl pink in the CCP colours. Go cop this one. But I'm not done. Look what else I got. I got the baby boy, baby girl sky blue. Look at our West Indies logo. You'll see the sky blue in it, matching the sky. You gotta go get this one. The pink and the blue are in limited edition only. We've only got one of every size, from small through to double XL. You wanna look fresh for hot boy, hot girl winter, you gotta go get that now. And last but by no means least, we of course have the white. The West Indies polo is white. I thought I had to get the CCP in white as well. The classic white tee with the CCP logo. So if you want that white, you want that maroon, you want the sky blue, you want the pink, go and let me know now. CCP, new merch, we're outside. Go cop that. Yeah, go cop that, people. Yeah, so I'm back. I've actually got coconut water. Someone said drink coconut water. I've got coconut water and I've got water. Got to bring down that blood pressure, you know. Celine says, where can I buy CCP merch? If you want to buy the merch, you just have to get in touch with me. We ship it everywhere, to be fair. I was speaking to someone in Australia this morning, so I've got to ship some out to Australia. Where have I shipped it to so far? Some have gone to the States, lots in the UK, shipped out to, like I say, Australia. Got some that have gone out to Australia already. So where it can ship to that's not really an issue. The way I've priced it up, the shipping cost is included in the pricing. So it should be all right depending on where it's going. And if you're somebody who, I don't know, sometimes people in the Caribbean, you tell me to ship it to someone in the UK because they might be traveling and they can just put in their suitcase and whatnot. So anyways, yeah, just get in touch and I'll see what I can do. But we're selling out quick, actually. I think pink is nearly all sold out. Blue is nearly all sold out. White in some sizes have already gone. CCP merch, man. People want that stuff. Raku says, "Why don't you drink some Morbi?" Morbi is the worst drink in the Caribbean. It tastes of cardboard and and what else does Morbi taste of? Cardboard and lost souls. That's what Morbi tastes of. It tastes of defeat. When I drink Morbi, it tastes like I'm watching West Indies lose by an innings and 7,000 runs. Yuck, yuck. When I drink Morbi, yuck. I've spoken about this already. When I went Trinidad, I was in the media center in Trinidad. I'm surprised you don't remember this joke. But not even a joke. This is a true story. I was in the media center in Trinidad, and they gave me Fireball. Will know. They gave me, what was it called? It was Morbi, and it was called Caribbean. I feel like it was called something like Caribbean flavors. It's called something like Caribbean flavors. And they came in, so they bought the drinks into the media center, and somebody was like, "Oh, you got some Morbi down the front." And it was called Caribbean flavors or something, Morbi. Caribbean Cool Morbi. I drank that. I wanted to dash that Morbi out the window onto the cricket field, you know. That was in my top 5 worst drinks I've ever tasted. Caribbean Cool Morbi in Trinidad. Top 5 most disgusting drink I have ever tasted. And the thing is, people have been boasting to me about Morbi, you know. Yuck. It tasted, the Caribbean Cool Morbi tasted like bitters. Have any of you, when any of you were Utes, when any of you were Utes, did your parents or grandparents ever give you bitters or washout? That's what Morbi tastes like. It tastes like bitters and washout. Anyone know about bitters and washout? Fam, that's what Morbi tastes like still. I'll never forget the first time my uncle gave me bitters. I think I was doing like 1-2 poop. I was doing 1-2 poop on the couch, and my uncle was going, Man just ran into the kitchen and came back with a bitters and said, "Drink that." He said, "I need to wash out my insides." So, you know when your parents do that one? Something smells frowsy. You know them ones? Let's get into the show. Right, okay. Who's up first? Tyrese. Tyrese is up first. Let's get him on the show. Yes, Tyrese, what are you saying?
Hi, Mash. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Great. It's been a while, but you know, I usually come in when I like to see some form of progress in terms of the business side of things of West Indies cricket. So I just came in to ask you about your thoughts on Lara's comments the other day, the whole press conference that went down.
The one about he wonders if the players really want to play for West Indies, and so I think I've got 2 opinions on it. I think Lara was speaking to an Indian audience.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and defend him with my first comment. I'm gonna assume that he was speaking to an Indian audience and tailored his comments for that audience, knowing that if he went into the actual nuances of what West Indies cricket actually needs, that it would be lost on his audience. I have to hope that's what he was doing. That's my first comment on it. My second comment is that wasn't what he was doing, and he's so out of touch with where West Indies cricket is at now that he himself has no ideas about the state of the game in West Indies. All he's got is his name, Brian Lara, but he actually doesn't have any idea about the state of the game in the Caribbean. So actually his comments maybe his comments are just as valid as when we get those classic comments from like British media, Australian media, Indian media, which are like, oh, what has happened to West Indies cricket in the last 30 years? Are they playing them? Are they playing basketball? Like maybe Lara just doesn't know anything. That sounds like sacrilegious to make a comment like that, but it's quite possible he has no idea about anything in West Indies cricket.
I I I don't think I agree with the latter one. I agree with your first point because I do think that he raised the points that I've been stressing for the past probably year. That we always knew that we've been lacking resources for a long time, and we don't have the capital to compete at the highest level. So when he addressed those points, I actually agreed from where he was coming from. I was surprised by one of the comments he made that 30, 40 years ago, Viv didn't have the facilities and he was still able to produce results. And I still, that comment, that's one comment I didn't necessarily see. I don't think that was necessary because obviously I don't want to say we don't have the same level of talent that we once did, but at the same time we don't. So I didn't necessarily get where he was coming from with that angle because it's like 40 years ago cricket wasn't as tactical as it is now. So I don't know what he expect. what I don't know what he expects like the players that we have to produce who doesn't possess the same mindset or talent that Viv had all those years ago. So I didn't necessarily agree with that. But in terms of like just getting the resources needed to move forward, I think that's something that we've been stressing for. But my question is, do you think this will work? Do you think this will work this time?
What him in terms of what though? Work in
Get
terms of
the end result of actually getting like lucrative sponsorship that can help us progress.
Do you know what? Possibly, because I can definitely see a situation where some kind of, at the end of the day, the one advantage that West Indies cricket has, and this is the advantage that keeps us at the top table, even though we don't deserve to be there. The one advantage we have is we have a story. We have a unique story that no other cricket team can match in world cricket, right? And we're still, all the while, all the legends are alive, we can still keep telling that story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, there are enough people who love nostalgia that just want to see West Indies be great again. Call it the same as his racism notwithstanding. When you used to say the name Hulk Hogan, everybody over a certain age knows a story and knows who Hulk Hogan is. West Indies have that same effect on cricket, right? So it is not out of the realms of possibility that somebody who wants to relive their youth of the days when West Indies were running wild on everybody says, I have X amount of funds. I want to see the West Indies team be great again because I want to relive my youth again, and that's vicariously through the West Indies. I actually don't think that is out of the realms of possibility. However, my only issue is if that money was ever to make it into the Caribbean without proper oversight of it, everyone's teeth in the money.
Agreed. That leads to me now to my next point that would address that as well. Like, like let's relate this to like football, for example. Like when Liverpool wanted new owners, they got them out and now FSG's in and they're still kind of like iffy with their owners. Obviously, most popular one is United with the Glazers, right? And they eventually didn't get rid of them, but essentially they hand over football operations to Ineos now, right? Yeah. Why don't we as West Indian fans put more pressure on like these administrations to like move forward and to like, because like, why is it like every time because if we get these resources and we don't improve and nothing is improving, shouldn't we be putting more pressure on these people to make sure that we improve? Because we don't put any, because like there's countless protests from like in football and different sports, but we as West Indians, we don't really, I'm not necessarily for that, but I at the same time, I mean, the only way to make change is if the fans are, or frustrated, because it feels like we would get ball up for 27, and the next day we'll talk about it a little bit, and then just back to normal, you know. So I just want to know how we can actually put pressure on these people to deliver.
Well, I'll tell you how. When was the last time? I hope there's some journalists listening on today's live show, and if not, I hope they're watching it on the replay. When was the last time journalists across the different nations of the Caribbean wrote a serious, introspective, investigative piece taking down their respective cricket associations and essentially holding them over a coalface and saying, but what have you actually done for cricket? Right? And one of the reasons why that doesn't happen is because everybody wants to eat a food, right? Nobody wants to lose their job, and nobody wants to lose privilege. And look at what happened in Trinidad. The story came out about Basraf and people possibly teething out the money. We get 1-2 articles. Basraf is still there. The money teeth, and he's still in his job. He's vice president of West Indies cricket. No one can't hold him to account. Right. If people want change, they have to rush people. It's as simple as that. Agreed. When government in respective when I was a youth, right? This is a Jamaican story. When I was a youth I went to Walmer's Boys School in Jamaica, and when I was a youth, like 18, something like that, we had a any Jamaicans listening to this will probably correct me on the details. My memory's hazy, but we had riots. I say riots, probably that's too strong a word, but people were blocking the roads, burning out tires, blocking the roads. I think it was to do with gas crisis or something like that. Blocking out the roads, just dashing tires across the street. No one can't pass, etc., etc. The problem is, Tyrese, is that people are so apathetic about the cricket. No one's willing to protest about the cricket. We'll say 1-2 things, but no one's actually rushing the headquarters of a cricket association, burning a couple tires and saying, you men aren't coming out the building till you give us answers. Like, that's the only way things are going to change.
I mean, I think hopefully Caribbean Cricket Podcast can help towards that, because I mean, sometimes you need to do things in person and physically, yes, but I mean, I really wish that more people will come out here and probably just, like, you know, just vent these problems more. I hope they do, and I do realize they do as well. But I don't know, man. If we do get these sponsorships to move forward, I still don't know if I trust this administration to move forward. Like, I really don't, because for my whole life they've just been constantly failing. So I don't know how we progress with the way, you know. I really hope that what Lara did, it helps us move forward. But at the same time, I kind of afraid of what's gonna happen if we do get this sponsorship, because I do think we'll get something for sure, because it's definitely something to look into from an investor standpoint. So
I hear you. Listen, because I'm mindful that I need to get everyone on. There's something I want to reply to you on that, but I'll do it after you've gone. But just mindful that I have to try and fit everyone on.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, then.
So, yep.
Thank you for ringing in, though.
No problem. Yep.
Cheers, Tyrese. Thank you. Just off that point that Tyrese was making there, and maybe another caller will touch on it. But as Tyrese was talking, I was thinking about Jewel Andrew, right? I am really worried that someone like Jewel Andrew will not fulfill his obvious potential, right? All the while he's in the Caribbean, it is going to be too easy for Jewel to become like Shimron Hetmeyer or something. Now, in some senses, that's good for Jewel Andrew, because if he becomes like Shimron Hetmeyer, his pocket's going to be full and his belly will be big, yeah? But he ain't going to help West Indies cricket like that. So, and I know Jewel's got his families around him and they're good people and so on and so forth, but I worry that Jewel Andrew cannot reach his potential if he's stuck in the Caribbean trying to develop. And it's about the people around Jewel have to have, and I know West Indies have just given him a developmental, by the way, let me talk on that. West Indies have just given Jewel Andrew a developmental contract. Does anyone remember on CCP, I said about a year ago, we should give people developmental contracts? Honest to God, I'm not just saying this to gas myself up. I actually reckon that, no word of a lie, I reckon Cricket West Indies watch this on their burner phone and steal the best ideas. As God, does anyone remember that I was saying it, literally saying, give them a developmental contract from now to lock them in? These men are taking my best ideas, don't even want to put me on the board and reimburse me for telling them what to do. They teeth my diaspora idea. They went in big press conference and said barefaced, yeah, we're reaching out to the diaspora, as if I wasn't the one who told them to do that. Where's my money? People are just taking my ideas and they're not paying me nothing. God, they're really taking my ideas out here, you know. Anyways, if you see West Indies reach out to Saudi Arabia, just know I was the first person to say that as well. If you ever hear in the next year, boy, they're sitting down with the next man in Saudi, just know they watched me say it and said, yeah, we best do that, you know. So yeah. Right, okay, let's go to the next caller is Sherwin. Let's go to him. 1 second. Yeah, so sorry, before I go to you, Sherwin, I just realized I didn't finish my dual point. I just feel that Cricket West Indies developmental contract for Jewel notwithstanding, I just worry. I worry for Jewel. I worry for Akeem or Geese. Remember, like, look at Teddy Bishop. Look at Teddy Bishop. Remember I worry for Akeem and Jewel and Ramon Simmons. Remember Teddy Bishop, they debuted him in Australia. Teddy was like 19 years old and they took him to Australia in an ODI series. And I was like, why are you doing that to Teddy Bishop already? I just worry sometimes about, and I get it, right? There's a talent deficiency, right? And so you want to try and blood these youngsters, but is blooding youngsters early? Is that development, or is that just blooding youngsters early? And I say this with all due respect to Jadea Blades. Jadea Blades has ability. I'm not doubting that. But what's he doing in India in our test match squad? What's Johan Lane doing, having already had a test match debut? Them man ain't ready for that. What was Zishan Matara doing in Sharjah, playing against Nepal? He's not ready for that. That's not development. That's just chucking man in and saying, boy, what you got for us? That's not development. This is why I keep saying, I think we need to get these youngsters out of the region and try develop them a different kind of way. It feels like we're just chucking. It feels like we're just chucking, and they're not shit, but that's the analogy I'm going to use. It feels like we're just chucking shit at the wall and saying, boy, what sticks, and what doesn't. That can mash up a man's career, you know. But anyways, who am I anyways? Who am I to say that? Now listen, Sam Kernan's on the show. So Sam, I'm only putting your comment up, not because of the Marlon Samuels comment, although that is correct. Although technically Marlon Samuels had generational talent ability. I'm putting Sam up, people, because Kavem Hodge uploaded some reps that he's doing in the nets right now. I'm assuming he's in Dominica. Although, are the Windwards team currently in Grenada actually getting ready? But I assume it's in the nets in Dominica. And obviously Sam does a lot of work with both. Sam, I'm bigging you up, by the way. So if I've got this wrong, Sam, please correct me in the comments. But not everybody knows who you are. Sam does a lot of work with Alec and Kavem. So I was watching Kavem. He'd upload his recent reps in the nets, right? And I was watching Kavem's reps, and I was thinking, you know what? Kavem's not the. Do you know what I like about Kavem Hodge? He's not the most talented West Indian player, but I tell you something, he'll outwork a lot of them. Tell me when I'm telling lies. That doesn't mean I'm saying Kavem should be in a test team right now. I'm not even really getting to that point, but he'll outwork them. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Kavem, I think, Kavem's one of those players. I like a player like Kavem Hodge, and let me tell you why, right? Because everybody can accentuate their positives and minimize their negatives. And I feel like Kavem Hodge is that type of player where he's like, listen, I'm not the greatest, but I know how to accentuate my positives and work within the limitations of my game and get the maximum out of what I can. And I sometimes look at some of our players and I go, are you not? This is what Lara's point should have been. Lara's point should never have been about passion. His point should have been, are you working hard enough to maximize whatever ability that you've got? You don't have to be the next Brian Lara. You don't even have to be the next Marlon Samuels. But are you maximizing whatever ability that you've got? Anyways, that's my rant over. Big up Sam. Big up Kavem. Hopefully Kavem has a good season. There's still some years left for Kavem to force his way back in. Anyways, we shall see. Anyways, let's go to Sherwin. Yes, Sherwin, what are you saying?
Hey, Rash, how's it going? Long time.
I'm very good, thank you.
So a couple of things that you said. I had a list, but I'm gonna build off of what you said, and then I'm gonna share my ideas and my point of views. So you talked about Akeem August and Joel Andrew. My thing is, if they have Andrew has a developmental contract. First of all, why take away the academy team, right, from tournaments? Because at this point, we can't say that these guys are going to go play other nations' developing teams and win. You got to start them. At a smaller step. They have to take smaller steps to build that character and winning habit, right? So regional, even though it's shit, the standard of regional cricket is shit. And it's true, you know that as well. At least they get some kind of game time. You can tell me they have the regime, they have the coaches, they're going to get this international batting coach that's going to work with them on the regional level. Everything. Man, bring Viv Richards. It's not going to happen if they don't have a game time to implement what they're learning in their training. And then we expect them to go to, for example, we played Nepal. They beat us. They whooped us because, we were inexperienced. Secondly, take them out of Caribbean. I agree with you on that point as well. All these regional boards are just sitting and, just taking their paychecks. They should be, they definitely have connections with other leagues, even in UK, the second division leagues. Let them play there. It's still better than, I'm pretty sure it's still, the standard of cricket is better than what we see in regional cricket on bad pitches. It's still something. So, yeah. So that doesn't make sense that they took away the 18 from the regional tournaments, or not the 18, but the academy team. Now coming back to Lara's comments, I just feel like it's the lack of professionalism, the lack of loyalty that the players have at this point. I mean, look at you look at Viv, you look at Garner. Like there was a time when the English county had 3 to 4 West Indian players playing for them, and some of them were some of them were good enough to have a second best team for West Indies to play at the same time, right? So what I'm saying is they were professionals. They played cricket like professionals. Now you look at Atmire, for example, generational talent, wasted away because of T20 and money. You can earn your money, that's fair enough. But, you're coming up with all kinds of excuses to not play for West Indies, first of all. Then, you're just, not showing up at all. Or, you're just running away to different leagues. Every goddamn league in the world you're playing, so there's no communication. And then, when the board strikes down on something, then they're complaining about, oh, well, the board is not, cooperating with the players. Look at Pooran. There's no sense of loyalty. You got your name because of playing for West Indies. And I still remember his innings, single-handedly scored 100-something against us on TV. And I was like, damn, this kid is going to go places. But what happens? He plays CPL, plays for West Indies for a little bit, gets dropped, comes back in, makes his name, he's making his money. But where is that sense of loyalty that West Indies gave you the platform in the first place? So these guys are just straight up lacking these two principles. Of course, there's, with playing so much T20, there's no advancement of their technique. They're losing whatever good technique they have. It's just like hitting the foul corner. So, And even look at Rutherford. Sammy's recent comment. I don't know how true it is, but I saw it on social media that Sammy said he has reached out to Rutherford time and again. I think Rutherford is not ready for Test cricket, but even then, these guys are just finding ways to not play Test cricket. And then we can complain. We can complain about both sides. We can complain about players. We can complain about board, and board probably has more to do, or the board is probably more at fault for a lot of things, because they could have done things instead of taking your ideas. So so yeah. And
Right. Let me I'm going to touch on some of those points that you said. I'm going to start with your last point first because I wrote something down as you were saying it. What's quite interesting, and let's use Pooran and Hetmeyer and Rutherford and all of those guys. What is very interesting to me is, when was the last time you saw an interview with Pooran or Hetmeyer or Rutherford or whoever else, where the journalist said to them, yeah, but why don't you want to play for West Indies? Just answer them that simple question. Why don't you want to play for West Indies? And see what lie they tell. Okay? Because no one's ever actually really stuck it on the players. Right? Like, so, and this is where I'm critical. Like, Nicholas Pooran, fantastic player, right? And I done already said to publicly that Pooran needs to just like do a U-turn and retire and whatever. But no one's ever publicly just interviewed them and said, okay, yeah, you've retired, but why don't you want to play for the West Indies? Why? Shimron Hetmeyer, why is it that 1 in every 2 or 3 times that you're called up, you refuse to play for the West Indies? Why are we treating these people with cotton wool? Now, don't get me wrong, they'd probably do some BS PR related answer, but at least ask them the question. Tell us why. Don't give me some PR statement. Tell me why you don't want to play for the West Indies. And don't lie either. If the answer is as simple as, you know what, I just want to make money. Cool, just admit it though. Like, I'm not angry with that. Just admit it and say, I want to make money. West Indies takes up too much of my time and I'm just trying to stack as much money as I wouldn't even be angry if they said that, because at least that's the truth. But somehow we just, like, it's too easy for them because we can all just go, the board have done this, the board have done that, the board's useless, the board's useless. But that's all correct and true. But why don't you want to play for the West Indies?
Exactly. So we have to, I agree with you. We have to shift some blame to the players as well. And, I feel like the players before them, the Bravos, the Russells, the Pollards, I mean, even though Pollard came back and captained for a couple of years, but they never really set a good example. Even if the board was really, strangling you and whatnot, everything, there were places where you let the board down as well. That clash between the board, whatever, from a business aspect, from the political aspect, players, there was definitely something going on between Bravo and Sammy.
100%. 100%.
That whole thing, I think there's still some bad-mindedness.
Even in CPL, I felt like there was a subplot there of Bravo trying to get. It felt to me, I could be wrong, but when St. Lucia played Trinidad, I was like, is there some subplot going on here? It kind of feels like it's a bit tetchy out here. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, Bravo was producing results. I agree with, he might be vexed, and he might be vexed for the right reasons, because board always plays politics with players and tries to, I mean, Sammy had no leadership qualities in terms of being the captain, and he wasn't the second in line to begin with either. He was just picked, and he was the yes man for board at that point. But there's some bad-mindedness there as well, and I feel like it's sort of trickling down into other players now, where I feel like Pooran's retirement probably has a lot to do with Bravo as well, because he is pretty much in every other league with Bravo.
What will be interesting, my big prediction is that Pooran will do a U-turn and he will play for the West Indies again. But the key thing for everyone to watch is when he chooses to come back into international cricket. He will 100% do a U-turn. but everyone pay attention to when he chooses to do that U-turn is what I would say. But because I need to go to the next caller, Sherwin, I'll just quickly finish off this other point that I wrote down notes on when you were talking. So the academy point about taking them out of first-class cricket, I agree with you. But the only thing, I'm going to hold fire on criticizing it because I don't know yet. Like, if they don't fill the lack of first-class cricket with international assignments, then I'm not understanding why they've then taken these players out, right? So Jewel is fine because Jewel will get into the Leeward Islands team. He will play for the Leeward Islands. But there are some of those academy players where I'm like, are you now certain of getting a franchise contract with one of the established nations? And if you're not, what is now going to fill the gap in terms of you getting game time and reps, etc.? So I'm gonna give Cricket West Indies a bit of time because I want to see if they announce. And then there's this 18. Obviously, there's a World Cup coming up in I think February next year, under 19 World Cup. But outside of that, I need to see what else we're doing.
Last, and I'm gonna sort of make that last comment based on what you just said. But the thing is, like, if you're already saying that you don't have enough money, how are you gonna call over international teams? Because then you have to take care of everything for them when you can't afford to have a team regionally travel across different, because they're going to have to travel across Caribbean, right? So if you can't do that, how are you going to call a team over and then accommodate them? That's another one. But
Well, there you go. And this is why we need some answers. But listen, Sherwin, thank you for ringing in. Going to go to the next caller.
I take care of.
All right, cheers. Thank you. There was something somebody put in the comment. Who was it? Somebody said something in the comments that I needed to say. Can't remember now. Sherwin said something. Was it Sherwin said something and I wanted to say something? It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me at some point. Josh, you're up next, by the way. Right, 2 more callers left for tonight. One sec. My water's run out, you know. Cha! Boy. It's too late for me to drink coconut water. I have to drink this coconut water. Right, Josh, you're up next. Yes, Josh, what are you saying? Yep, and
Can you hear me?
Sounds a bit crackly, but carry on.
No, I think it's your mic.
It's definitely not me.
I mean, you heard it from without sure we started. I can hear you still.
Hold on. Josh, you're sounding like you're sounding like you're in the upside down world. No one can hear you properly, you know.
You can't hear me.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Start. Hold on. Talk now.
But,
Yeah. You being attacked. The gremlins have got you. Hey, log out and come back in again. Josh, your connection is moving mad. You're talking to me like you're Vecna in Stranger Things. Right, Josh, I'm going to remove you. Log back in and we'll try again. But I don't know what's going on for Josh right now. Right, Garty, you're coming on next. Whilst Josh tries to come back from the under realm, we'll go to the next caller. I don't know what's going on for Josh right now. Josh, you're backstage at the moment. I'm going to bring on Garty. Josh, you're backstage, so you've got two options: either reboot, log out, and come back in, or boy, ask your captors if they can release you, because I don't know what's going on for you right now. Right, let's go to Garty. Yes, Garty, how you doing?
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Garth. I'm a West Indies fan. I'm a blind person. Bear with me a second. I'm a bit nervous, but I want to ask you a question or two. So, I hear what you're saying about Quake. I'm happy to see. I am a huge fan of Quake. But do you think Darren will come back? Meaning Darren Bravo will come back.
Okay. Okay, so that's a good question, right? So
for some reason, I can't seem to hear you.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Second. Oh yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Right. So that's a good question.
Decided to mute on me.
You're right. You can hear me, yeah? I'm good to go?
Thank you.
Ooh.
I'm glad you found it inside.
Oh, hold on. My phone's talking to me. Right. Garth, before I talk, can you hear me?
For some daft reason, because it's my first time in one of these studios, so I'm not hearing a thing what you're saying, but I can see your mouth moving, but I'm not hearing a thing what you're saying.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do, right?
I'll tell you what. Let me... I can hear you now, man.
Okay, let me check it. So I'm talking now. Can you hear that?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Right. So, okay, let me check it. So I'm talking now. Can you hear that? I can hear you now. Perfect. Right. So, okay, let me check it. So I'm talking now. Can you hear that? I can hear you now. Perfect. Right. So, right. So Garth, what I've done, I've just muted you because you can hear me on a I think you're hearing me on a delay. So I'm going to talk. I'll unmute you when I finish talking, and by then I think you should be able to hear it fully and then reply to me. Hopefully that works, right? So just to answer your Darren Bravo point, what's quite interesting to me is that Darren Bravo posted on Insta, let's say 18 months ago, maybe a year ago, implying that he was done with cricket. I think when he'd scored all of those runs in the Super 50 season, and then Desmond Haynes didn't pick him, I think he was disillusioned. I think and if I remember rightly, DJ Bravo then went on Instagram and cussed out West Indies and said, how isn't Darren being selected? He's just had a good first class season, a good Super 50 season. And obviously Desmond Haynes said Darren Bravo's too old, blah, blah, blah. We fast forward now 18 months. Darren Bravo's about to turn 37 years old, or is he about to turn 38? One or the other. I think it's 37. West Indies are not in a position to look at someone like Darren Bravo and say, you're too old to play for the Test side. The question for me is, does Darren Bravo still have the hunger to go and play another first-class season for Trinidad and score runs to get him back into the West Indies side? Now, some people, let me give the other side of the argument, because some people might say, but Mash, Jason Mohammed just scored loads of runs and he's 38 and he was ignored. That's cool, and I totally get that. The difference is Darren Bravo has 8 international centuries at the Test level, and I think 18 or 17 50s at the Test level. 7 of those Test match hundreds that Bravo has scored are away from the Caribbean, which is what a top quality batter can do, right? So if Darren Bravo still has the hunger to play for the West Indies, he still has the hunger to play for Trinidad in a first-class season, and he still makes runs, there is no argument that someone can bring me that says he still can't play for the West Indies, because none of the batters can score runs anyway. So he has a chance. I'm now going to unmute myself, Garth. Hopefully you heard that and you're free to reply, because I won't say anything.
Yes, I heard that. So I think I am what 41. I do walking cricket. I think I could actually play in the West Indies team and make a couple of 50s. But anyway, I am a huge fan of West Indies, and I think by next year or so we will come back if they get the legends. India have got the legends like Kumble and all that helping. I've heard people talk about money. I just think for me, where you work, you get paid. And I think myself, they should play county cricket. Look at Kemar, what he's done for Surrey for the past couple of seasons. Craig done well when he was playing for Glamorgan. I don't know why half of them don't come over here and play county cricket for these county teams. And I'm not on about the 2020, I'm on about the 50-50, and we can learn something. Look at Joe Root. We can learn something as West Indies people. I'm going to say this is my last point. I'm not confident. People are saying we can win this test match starting tomorrow. I think it will be over in 2 or 3 days. And I would love to see Greaves open, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Garth, thank you so much for the comments. Before I let you go, I'll quickly answer those points. I agree with you. This match will be over in 3 days. In fact, if we can take it to 3 full days, we've done better than the first test. So if we can lose in 3 instead of 2.5, I'll take that. In terms of county cricket, the point is valid, but the problem is which county sides would take some of our average batters. You're right that every single one of them could do with a county gig, but who's willing to take one of our batters? So I think there's an issue there. In terms of the legends, I definitely think the legends should be involved from a mentorship perspective. I think I've said this on a previous episode before. Every single West Indies cricketer who is in a squad, ODI squad, whatever it might be, should be assigned a mentor, a legend as their personal mentor. So, for example, let me pick an example here. So, Jewel Andrew, his mentor should be Richie Richardson. For example, I'm doing island for island there. It doesn't have to be like that, but I'm doing island for island. And I've said, and I'll explain this mentorship in my head again, right? Of what I mean by that. It doesn't mean Richie Richardson is Jewel Andrews' coach. It means that Richie Richardson is expected to have at least 2 interactions with Jewel per month, whether it be on a phone call, whether it be actually meeting up, whether it be a net session. But he basically mentors the young boy through his career and helps him navigate the trials and tribulations that he will face as he tries to build a career of his own. That's different from coaching someone on the field. It can involve that, but it's actually about a developmental tool to mentor the player. I think there is definitely I think there's mileage in doing that. And I'm surprised it's not something I'm surprised we don't already do that. I'm not fully certain why we've not done this already. But listen, Cricket West Indies tend to listen to this show and then follow what I say. So maybe they'll listen to that and follow that in the future. But listen, Garth, I'm going to let you go because there's one more caller to go, and the test match starts in under 6 hours. So so I need to try and close the show off and get ready for the test match. But I'll just give you the last words to you, Garth. So I need to try and close the show off and get ready for the test match. But I'll just give you the last words to you, Garth.
Well, all I'll say is big up West Indies. I just want to see us put up an effort and give people like what, as I said before, Greaves. So my team for tomorrow would be Greaves and Campbell to open. There's no space for Tage. 3, I'd have what? Imlach, Athanaze, King, Chase, Warwicken, Pierre, and that Blades and Seals. That would be my team. And I think we got enough talent there to get what?
Listen, Garth, I'm gonna say bye. I hope if that's the team, then we shall see. If not, we shall also see. But thank you so much for ringing in, Garth. Listen, Garth, I'm gonna say bye. Then we shall see. If not, we shall also see. But thank you so much for ringing in, Garth.
Thank you.
That was Garth, people. Thank you very much. First time caller. You know, listen, CCP, we reach out to anybody and everybody. Big up Garth, and big up everybody who's rung in today. Final caller goes to Josh. Now, the last time Josh tried to ring in, he was ringing from the underworld. I think someone had captured him. So I don't know. I don't know if Josh, I don't know where Josh is. Let's see if his captors have let him out. Yes, Josh.
Yo, Mash.
Oh, you're back.
If you know about internet in Jamaica, you hear me? So bad when I fly out, yo, listen. Yo, but lawsuits would have been filed all over the place.
You're back, Josh. You're back. It's all good. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man. All right, I know you want to get off. Let me just do this quickly then. People, don't be surprised that a Middle Eastern, an American, or some type of business, also what I'm looking for. Let's just say a man loaded with cash. You understand?
Mm.
Gets involved in very specifically West Indies cricket, but sooner rather than later they will, and they already are involved in cricket overall. Because why you think the cricket is going to Abu Dhabi already or Dubai? You know what I mean? So that's already one step in. You know, so they're already basically in cricket. It's now how they're going to do it to a level where they're going to invest in someone. The challenge is, it's not like they're investing in a club. They're more investing in a regional / national team. So it's a little different, but it could be done the same way. It probably will have to be done through government relationship within the different islands. And I think that's the trick with the Caribbean. You know what I mean?
Wait, so hold on. Wait, are you saying for someone to invest specifically within one nation?
No, meaning like, all right, like West Indies cricket. Because all right, let's take away West Indies. Do you foresee Saudi saying to ECB, England and Wales Cricket Board, I have £2 billion for you. Are you going to take it?
The ECB wouldn't take it off the Saudis.
Then that's what I'm. All right, there you go. But let's go to South Africa. Would South Africa take it?
Possibly.
But how would it? How it would have to be done to a government relationship, not as a.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it would have to be done through government relation, and I think that's the trick here with West Indies, because we have what in West Indies technically around about 12 to 14 islands to deal with. It's very unique. It's a very unique situation, right? But I'm expecting someone to actually get involved. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's an Indian man. Just saying, you know what I mean? But I expect money to come in, people, and don't turn your nose up against it, because it's only so long we can carry on with our system. As Mash said, and we've seen, it's only taken us 18 months to go build from the World Cup. Less than that, actually.
Yeah. It's true.
And Jimmy Grave warned us about it. He literally warned us. He said 2024 will be a good year, but 2025, 2026, and possibly 2027 are going to be very hard years for West Indies cricket.
Yep. I'm glad you said that, Josh, because I think a lot of people, possibly even myself included, forgot that we were forewarned that this was going to come.
Yeah, it was coming, right? And it's unfortunate they're gonna have to scrap the CCC, which I think should have happened a long time ago, but the academy team. But I do think what we need to do is look within our hemisphere and say, hey, hear what? Granny, create your own team. St. Vincent, create your own team. I know it's win one and lever, but I think we might have to break up the win one and lever just to create more teams to make it competitive. Because 6 is not enough, Mash. 6 is not
No,
enough.
6 isn't there. Six isn't is not.
So I think
And 6 and bear in mind it's 6 poor quality teams. It's not even like if it was 6 high quality sides, then fine. It's actually you can get good cricket out of that, but it's 6 subpar teams.
Right. So I wouldn't be surprised in another 3 to 4 years. We could add a split and create more teams that way. And force the government to have to spend and send the teams out. You know what I mean? Because so now we can do 16, well, we'll put up to 14.
Hey, what's going on? You're back in the you're being captured again.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Jaja.
I'm fighting.
Just trying to mash up the show, you know. I mean, we can't hear you guys. Hey, Josh, you've been captured, you know. You might be done, you know.
I'm here. You get it?
I know you're there, but we can't hear you properly.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, you're gonna have to try it. You're gonna have to try again next week, you know. Well, Josh, you're giving us a good. I can see his bright. Boy, Josh just locked me off, you know. Well, people, Josh tried, but they came for him again. I'm gonna have to. Josh, do you know what? Because you're in the background and we can hear you moving about. So, what on earth? People, I've had to remove Josh. I've had to put him in the background because I don't want Josh possibly saying or doing something, and then next thing we're all hearing an absolute madness live on the mains. So I've had to lock off the show just in case. For all I know, anything can happen. When the screen goes dark and we're just hearing shuffling and muffling, we could hear any level of madnesses. So I've had to put Josh in the background just in case, just to protect him, in case anything happened. Listen, people, that's been the live call-in show. Unfortunately, even if Josh fixes it now, all I know is it's 11:15. The test match starts in 5.5 hours. Oh, Bomber Clot. Oh, Rasclat. Join me 5.5 hours from now. I say join me. I'm not going to do a live show in 5.5 hours, but I am going to get up. We go again, people. We already know what's going to happen, but we have to rally. We have to go again, and we have to rally. Hopefully, West Indies win the toss. Hopefully, we bat first. Hopefully, one man scores a 50. Give us something. Please, West Indies. Hopefully, none of you are watching this because you're supposed to be sleeping, getting ready for the test. But give us something. Give us a 50. One man, give us a 50. Just 150, and we'll take that. We will take that. I think there were some super chats which I missed. Was there a super chat? Oh, there was. Sugar, I best just show. I'm sorry. So Angad Gurul says, do you think other lower ranked teams in Asia, Africa, do they have more money than Cricket West Indies? If not, then how do they survive? If not, then how do they survive? Okay, so I'm going to break down your points because I think the first point is West Indies have money. It's not like West Indies don't have any money, but I think do you know the thing that I think everyone forgets about West Indies? And I sometimes have to explain this to some friends when they ask me about West Indies cricket. Cricket West Indies isn't managing one nation. They are managing what? How many in the Leewards women? So if you count the Leewards as 4, Windwards as 4, that's 8. They're managing at least 12. I think it's actually 16, but they're managing at least 12 different nations, right? And as Miles Bascom and that lot said in the press conference the other day, they're having to fund everything for 12 different nations. Like, I don't think people fully understand that it's not that West Indies don't have money. It's how do you utilize that money when you're funding so many teams, where air travel is so expensive, where hotels are so expensive. I don't think people understand how expensive the Caribbean is. When I went to Antigua, I think I've made this point before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Bear in mind, people, that I get paid in pounds, right? The pound goes far in the Caribbean. I don't think it goes as far as it used to, but it goes far. Well, it probably does actually, but the pound goes far in the Caribbean. Let me tell you lot something. When I went to Antigua, I turned up in Antigua thinking, yeah, the pound goes far. Like in Jamaica, I can do this, I can do that, and I can kind of roam free. Antigua was so expensive. Antigua was so expensive. Travel in Antigua was so expensive. And I was like, what on earth is this? Bare expensive in Antigua, right? Bear in mind, because the Greek West Indies are funding all of this stuff. When I was in Jamaica just gone, a man said to me, because obviously West Indies were playing Australia, and I was at Sabina for the T20s, and then after the Jamaica T20s, they went to St. Kitts. And a man said to me, am I going to fly over to St. Kitts to watch the West Indies matches against Australia there? I said, fly to St. Kitts from Jamaica? Are you crazy? People outside the Caribbean, I don't think they actually understand how expensive the Caribbean is. It's cheaper for me to fly back to London than fly to St. Kitts on a return ticket. What? And have to stop off in Panama or something. Allow me. Do you know, no wonder West Indies run out of money so much, or Cricket West Indies, I should say. And then as Christerian was saying, some countries don't even want to cut Cricket West Indies a blight. They don't even want to cut them a blight and subsidize flight fare or subsidize hotel costs. Don't want to sponsor nothing. It's long. I don't think a lot of people understand how long it is. And how much the Caribbean hits you in the pocket. This is why bare men have to hustle. Probably why Puran retired. Man said, I have to make as much money as I possibly can. Anyways, next one. Sorry, I'm just going to get through the super chats and I'm knocking off the show, people. Riz Khalifa didn't send a comment, just sent the donation. Big up, Riz. Thank you for that. But then you did send another super chat. Maybe this one was a mistake and you sent it without a comment. But thank you so much all the same. But you did send this one with a comment. So final comment. Right. I'll just let everyone read it. Riz is running joke on me, yes. So Shimron can bat at 9 and bowl googlies. Okay. That's probably the only way he gets in any team of mine right now. Thank you for the super chat, Riz. That's probably the best way to end the show. Right, how long did that go? 1 hour and 18 minutes, just shy of 1 hour and 20. I'll be Machel St. Patrick here at one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. If you want to, we're not doing a watch along for the test match, but I will be up. Oh, sorry. If you want to do a watch along, not watch along, a chat along, join the Discord. Become a patron for as little as is the screen. Yeah, it's on the bottom. www.patreon.com/Carib Cricket. Become a patron for as little as $2, £2 per month, and become part of the first and foremost, become part of the CCP Discord. Community, but you get access to the Discord, and that's where we chat during the match. So no watch along, but there'll definitely be a chat along in 5 hours time, 5.5 hours time. So meet me there, people. Become a patron, join the Discord, and I am out, people. It's time for me to go sleep, get ready for the test match. See you all there. I'll be Mashel St. Patrick, one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Peace.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.